So the chapter 5 review starts out just reviewing what all these letters stand for. So SAS is what?
Side.
Side, angle, side. Good. SSS. Side, side, side. This next one is angle, angle, side.
Miss Monday, he was following me.
Do you recall what we discussed?
No.
All right, what's ASA?
Angle side.
Angle, side, angle. Good.
And hypotenuse.
And then HL is hypotenuse leg. All right, the next section, you are just saying if those are corresponding and congruent. So number 6 asks about angle S and angle N. That's a yes. What about angle R and angle M? That's a no. They're not marked the same way.
You say non-corresponding?
Yeah, that'd be fine. RT,
Oh.
hold on. RT and PM, that's a yes. This one's a no. Good. All right, any questions so far? All right, this next one, you are just listing the corresponding parts. Now, tomorrow on your test, it will have like one angle given and you'll tell me what it matches with. So it won't be all the way blank. There'll be a little bit more information. But we are just listing the parts that match. So angle A is congruent with angle D. Angle B is congruent with angle E. And angle C is congruent with angle F. It does not have to be in that order. It has to be those pairs though, A and D. So you could put like DA, you could have it down here. That's why tomorrow I give you a little more guidance so that we all use the same order. But yeah, as long as these two match, and these two match, and these two match.
Are some of our tests going to be modified since we are in time? Like, giving us answers?
All right, so the next one, you do the sides. So A, B would go with what?
DE.
DE, good. And BC would go with EF. And AC would go with DF. Good. All right, check those. Now, the test tomorrow is just as long as this review, and no one's getting extra time. So make sure that you are kind of like ready to do it quickly. Get in here, don't screw around, get to work. All right, so this next page is just using those 5 theorems from the front. So number 16 is what?
Side. Wait. Those
No,
angles.
these are angles.
Oh.
Remember, you can kind of label them if you get stuck.
I couldn't tell if it was
Angle side angle.
So yeah, this is angle, side, angle. We have 2 angles and the side that's in between. Number 17.
Side angle.
Side, angle, and then this is a side. All right, number 18 is
Side,
what?
side.
Side. Good. Number 19, angle, side. Good. What? How is this one angle, side?
It's like you start from one corner, go into the other corner, then you go to the side.
Right, so do you see how the angles are next to each other and then we have the side? Some people accidentally write side angle. I would actually accept that. That's fine. As long as you know that the side isn't between the angles. That's what you got to focus on. All right. Questions on those 4?
Wait.
Number 20.
Angle, side angle.
Yes, we have the angles, then the sides, then the angles. So angle, side, angle. Number 21.
Angle side.
Very good. Angle, angle, side. All right. What's 23? HL. Anytime you see the right angle, check to see if you have information about the hypotenuse and about the leg. And in this case, we have both, so it's HL. All right, 23? Side, angle, side. Good. Again, if you're struggling, just label them around.
Sometimes the labeling don't help. Just because
For real.
that might be the right one. HL.
Yeah, this is another one where we have the hypotenuse, the leg, and the right angles. So it's an HL. And then 25.
Angle, angle, side.
Careful.
Side.
Yeah, these are all sides.
Oh.
Whoops.
Side angle.
I know. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, this next one says, what information do you need in order to use the indicated theorem? These are challenging. That people always struggle with these the most. So it's saying what is missing if I want to use HL. So I have the right angles, right? Across from the right angle, I have the hypotenuse, right? It's the same segment in both. So what I'm missing is the leg. So you are right. These would be the legs, right? So I would describe that as segment NQ and segment PQ. You could use the other legs too. If you did NO and PO, that would be fine. But again, it's what is missing? What do you not have? So the next one, if I want to use side, 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 what do I not have? The third side. So that would be these guys down here.
DE.
So DE.
Oh, you just do it congruent?
Yep. Just make those two congruent. All right. Questions on those? There's one of each one, I believe. All right, angle, angle, side. So we have these angles. We have this side is the same in both, right? Now, if we use these angles down here, we'd have angle, side, angle. So we don't want this angle. We want the one way out here, okay? So we would need angle what?
Z.
Z is congruent to angle X. And there was just a question a minute ago, can I just draw them in? Is that enough? No, I need the actual congruent statement. This guy is congruent to this guy. All right, number 29, we have side. This side is the same because it's in both. And I'm looking for side, angle, side. So I need the angle in between these guys. Which angle would that be?
G.
Oh, G and E.
So right here we have side. We would need this angle, side. Now this is tricky because you can't just say angle E. There's a bunch of angles over there. So we got to use 3 letters. So D, E, G would have to be congruent to angle FEG. Kind of a tricky one.
Oh, I thought the EOG was a 6. I
Mm.
don't know how. I just looked up.
All right, number 30, we're going to have to do the 3 letters as well because the triangles are overlapping. So we have angle, side. We'd need these angles over here. So we'd call that angle ACB needs to be congruent to angle DCB. This is definitely a section that I think needs some study time tonight. There are a lot of these throughout the chapter too on the homework assignments. It was usually like right before the word problem at the end of each worksheet, there was a section like this. So if you still have those might be beneficial. All right, this next one we are writing a congruence statement for each triangle. So that's where you say triangle blank, blank, blank is congruent to triangle blank, blank, blank. And you have to have the corresponding parts in the right order. So number 31, if I say ABD, so triangle ABD, what would I have to say on the other one? ABD.
ABC. Hold on.
ABD.
Nope.
So what matches with A?
BCD.
C. So C, then BD.
Oh.
Yeah. So the corresponding parts have to be in the same order. Now, I think this is like the first page on the bottom where today they're both just blanks. Tomorrow I'll give you a little guidance. So I'll give you like the first triangle ABD, and then you have to tell me the right order for the second triangle. And order does matter here. All right, so number 32, if I say PMN, so if I do P, then up to M, then N, I'd have to do PQN. The P's have to be in the same spot, the Q and the M have to be in the same spot, and then the N's have to be in the same spot. All right, 33, if I go PQR, what matches with P?
T.
T, R,
Which one's marked the same as P?
R,
Oh,
So I'd have to go S, and then which one's the same as Q?
R,
T.
T, and then the R. So you gotta just make sure the order's the same. These are tricky. All right, so this next one says, the triangles below are congruent. Draw the triangles separately and label the corresponding parts. So if we take the two triangles, so this one, and I'm going to draw it down there as R, P, Q. And then here's another one. So T, P, Q. And then you have to mark the parts that are corresponding. So in the original diagram, we know that those were the same. That's the same segment. And then these angles. And then these angles. Now, if you want to go and mark everything else corresponding and congruent, the other parts, that's fine. If you only want to do the parts we knew from the diagram, like the angles, and then these were overlapping at first, so you can add those, that's fine too.
So
But
we have to redraw.
you have to redraw it. Yes, you have to draw it separately. The angles are congruent. Draw the triangle separately and label the parts that were corresponding and congruent. So if they have them congruent marked in the original, you need to mark them. If they were overlapping in the original, you have to mark those as well. All right, same thing on number 35. So do you see we have some right triangles? We have this guy, CFD. And then we have this guy. So C, F, and E. All right, so on this one we had the right angle at C and at F. And then this segment was the same. And like I said, if you want to go to town and mark all the rest of them congruent too, you can. But as long as you focus on the ones that were either A, overlapping in the beginning, or B, already marked congruent, you should be good. Here's the next one. It says use the diagram to find the measures. So BC, it's along a perpendicular bisector. So what do I know about the length of BC? Congruent to what?
AB.
AB, which is
13.
13. Good.
13.
All right, number 37.
7.
It is 7. Good.
Hey, wait.
Yes.
I want her for this lesson.
Okay, so it was up to you to watch it on Google Classroom?
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot it was on.
Or get the notes from a friend? All right, next section. This is from that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent information. So DE is corresponding with which side?
B
Yeah, and how long is that?
22.
22. So this guy's also 22. Now, read the directions tomorrow. A lot of people just kind of remember like, oh yeah, 38's 22. Or, oh yeah, 37 was 7. These back parts, the answers are easy, but a lot of you give me the answer from the review when it wasn't the same question on the test. So make sure you're slowing down and actually reading these. All right, and the last one. These are segments connecting the bisector to the endpoints, so I know they're congruent. So 4x plus 4 equals 5x minus 3.
So will we take the last one now?
Mm-hmm. So subtract that one. So 4 equals 1x minus 3. Then what?
Plus 3.
Mm-hmm. So we get that 7 equals x or 1x. Same thing. X is 7 here. Okay. What are your questions? All right, so you have the rest of class to study this. Like I said, I'm a little worried there will be a time crunch tomorrow, so make sure you get in here quick. Be prepared to get started. Kind of pace yourself appropriately.